It goes without saying that the spread of COVID-19 has had a pretty intense effect on the global job market, with many turning their attention towards the position of tradesmen in an effort to find a job that is both safe and secure. But since the majority of the public wouldn't call plumbers creative, the pathway of a plumber can be said to be quite limited. That is, until a select few professionals from within the industry decided to make a statement with their work. What are these plumbing setups that have changed the perception of the profession forever, and how can they be used to make your home more unique than the others on your block? Well, whether you're in the process of remodeling or just want to know more about the creative side of the world of plumbing, stay right where you are, as we're about to explore everything there is to know about the best plumbing setups currently in existence. So strap yourselves in and get ready to take some notes, as things are about to get interesting. But before we get into it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss out on any of the new videos we post. Number 1. The Santa Cruz Piping System. First up on our list is the crazy piping system of the aquarium within walking distance of the Santa Cruz Pier, which has been hidden away in a pretty ingenious way. To see this marvel, you'll obviously have to travel to California, and since there are so many incredible sights to take in while visiting this paradise away from home, it's unfortunately a view that often goes unnoticed. But, funny enough, this was the intention of the design of the piping system in the first place. You see, when the need arose for a valve pipe to be built on the outside of the aquarium to regulate the water within it, plumbers on call pitched the idea of a regular valve pipe that would look like any other. The building manager on duty had other plans though, and commissioned the hands of a master plumber who was able to do more than bring a plumbing system to life. Rather than building the usual valve piping system, which was said by the building manager to be an eyesore against the backdrop of the aquarium, the idea was put forward to incorporate the sea into the very piping system that had to be installed. So the plumber that was commissioned decided to put his creativity to the test by first building the base of the valve piping system, with the most important step being the actual working order of the system. Once this had been established, an ironclad octopus was created and welded onto the piping system to make it look as if it had escaped the aquarium and wrapped itself around the piping for good measure. This working piping system goes very much unnoticed due to the fact that not many know that it's an actual working system. Since the octopus and valve pipe are made from the same material, many assume that this is nothing more than a statue meant to capture the overall sea theme of the aquarium. And it's that ability to hide in plain sight that makes this one of the greatest plumbing setups in the world. The whole purpose of piping is to work hard without being noticed after all, which is why the majority of piping can be found beneath the floorboards or within the walls of a residence. And what better way to hide this hard work than to have tourists take pictures with the piping, thinking that it is nothing more than an added aesthetic of the building. As a true example of the creativity that can be shown by modern plumbers, we just had to include this wondrous valve piping system on our list at number 1. Number 2. A creative solution to the cold. When it comes to the remodeling of a home, the majority of owners prefer to invest too much than too little when it comes to their bathrooms. This is probably due to the fact that the bathrooms are considered to be a place of relaxation, where the user spends quite a lot of time lost in their own thoughts. Think of how many times a day you visit the bathroom to either use the lavatory or shower after a long day at work. And since there is nothing better than having a spot of relaxation that looks impressive, it makes sense why so much remodeling money is thrown at these rooms. That being said, plumbers can also make all the difference when it comes to the setup of a bathroom. This is usually the case when it comes to laying of piping, which is more often than not hidden from view. That being said, this isn't always the case and can in some instances look pretty outstanding when it comes to the aesthetic of a bathroom. One creative idea that is now being used by quite a few plumbers when facing a rustic bathroom design is that of copper piping organized in a variety of ways on the outside of a bathroom wall. Probably our favorite is the organization of this piping in such a way that forms right angles at regular intervals, allowing for towels to be hung up at the owner's leisure. This doesn't just work as a great place to store towels though, as running hot water through this piping system, which is often the case when it comes to showering, will allow for the towels to be heated while the shower is actually being used. This eradicates that terrible feeling of ending a relaxing, steamy shower with a frigid towel. The same can be said about a system as this, such allows for the storage of toilet paper. There's nothing worse than having to sit down on a frozen throne with warm toilet paper, making this a whole lot easier at the end of the day. Another great thing about this setup is, unlike the previous item on our list, almost any plumber can install a properly organized system such as this. It might might be a bit unusual at first, since most plumbers prefer to install piping on the inside of a wall, but for a few extra dollars, you'll be able to ensure that your commissioned plumber works both neatly and properly, giving you your very own warming system without the extra cost of installing gadgets such as heated pads and whatnot. So keep this in mind when you feel like remodeling your bathroom again. Number 3. Bringing your geeky side out. If you're the homeowner of a cheaper property such as a flat, then you most likely have a kitchen sink with some obvious piping staring right back at you. And while there is nothing wrong with this, considering that the piping is often hidden from view when the kitchen cabinet is closed, we saw an incredible idea on Reddit that we can't seem to get out of our heads. And the best thing about this setup is that it doesn't even require a professional craftsman to carry out. First things first, the plumber that was commissioned by the owner was asked to turn the water system of the home off and uninstall the piping components from under the kitchen sink. This piping was then painted with a green spray, making it look similar to the type of piping everyone is used to traveling down in the popular Nintendo game Super Mario Bros. This is precisely what the San Francisco user had in mind though, asking the plumber to also replace a piece of piping with another that bends upward and leads to nowhere. This fork in the piping was then blocked off, with an action figure of a piranha plant from the game being placed there to look as if it was rising out of the system. This little geeky affair was then brought together with another 2 action figures, being that of Mario and Bowser. So when this Nintendo-loving homeowner opens his kitchen sink, he is surprised by a system that looks like a freeze frame of Super Mario Bros. Now that's one way to make things look better. Number 4. A welcome rack. Last but not least is another impressive design that we've seen pop up from time to time on the job. Since wine is an amenity which is enjoyed by a great many homeowners, plumbers have been asked to bring their creativity into the kitchen in an attempt to create some storage for the liquid gold out of nothing. This is achieved in a similar manner to the right angle design of the towel hanger of before. Rather than having one long section of piping though, smaller sections are welded into this section to allow for a divisive storage unit. You can always keep it as a solid line where bottles could be stacked, but dividing your bottles with the smaller sections means that your wine bottles won't be rolling around uncontrollably. Just make sure that your plumber knows that you wouldn't like any water to be traveling through this newly established storage system of piping. The constant application of warm and cold water to a bottle of expensive wine can actually result in the changing of its flavor profile. At least that's what the experts on the scene have been saying. And since you wouldn't want to serve wine that tastes like vinegar, it's best to stay away from all running water regardless of its temperature. And remember, if you're already a plumber running your own business or just about to start and grow your own plumbing business, you must learn the 4 critical things plumbing business owners wish they had learned before starting a plumbing business so you don't make the same mistakes. Plumbing Accelerator has put together a free training video that you can watch right now that will show you exactly how to start, grow, and build your plumbing business the right way so you can consistently guarantee profitable work and free up your time, all whilst reducing stress levels and allowing you to have a sustainable and more profitable business that works for you. In this free training video, you will also learn how to generate a steady stream of jobs on demand and with predictability month after month in your local area without relying on word-of-mouth referrals, how to stop competing on price with other plumbers and escape your competition, how to convert at least 90% of your quotes and estimates into sales, and how to command premium prices and attract high-quality customers that will be happy to pay more. Make sure to click the link in the description and let us know what you thought about impressive plumbing designs in the comment section below.